Hi there, this is Nicole. I just wanted to take a few minutes to share a personal experience that I had recently and also to issue a warning to young women in Barbados and then further to perhaps give some suggestions. Tuesday past, I was walking the beach down Bats Rock, as I usually do from Bats Rock over to Pile Bay and back. It was around 9 a.m. and on my way back to Bats Rock, I had an experience that left me shaken and injured. A strange man was hiding behind one of the big trees, and I saw out of the corner of my eye this shadow jump from one tree to the other. And it was at that point where I believe the Holy Spirit guided me. I knew that I was going to be attacked, and the thought came to me, and I know it could not have been my own mind because I may be smart, but I'm not that sharp. The thought came, if you run on the sand, he will catch you. But if you run into the sea and swim through the rocks, you'll be okay. And that is exactly what happened. When I started to walk down quickly towards the water, the person dashed from behind the second tree through the sea grapes, but by the time they'd reached the sea grape trees, which were short and dense, I was already in the water. Thankfully, I was on the phone with someone at the time, and I was able to shout for them and tell them, call my husband, who was in the car park down at Bats Rock, and tell him to come up the beach because someone is chasing me. I swam into the rocks down at Bats Rock because I'm relatively confident in my ability to swim. And I swam through the rocks, crawled over, down into the other set of rocks to get away. Thankfully, an officer in plain clothes was already down on the beach doing his beat, and I was able to get some psychological relief after marooning myself on the beach, on the rocks out in the water. And after I saw my husband breach the clearing and round the bend, I stepped out of the rocks all shaken, and he helped me out of the water, and then I gave my report to the officer. And it is so disturbing that at 9 in the morning I could have that experience. And let me give some context. The couple that were walking the other direction had rounded the bend, and the two guys who normally fish there with their rods and lines had rounded the other bend, so I was alone on that short stretch. And it had never occurred to me before just how dangerous that was, because that stretch of beach has always been a safe space, a place to go and recharge. Even when I was pregnant, I would walk the stretch alone. I would walk it with friends just to get a little bit of rejuvenation and relaxation from the stresses of daily life. And now that is gone. The officer showed me a photograph of a man, and incidentally, the man that was in the photo had dove into the sea in front of me when I was further down the stretch. And he was swimming just in front of me, like the whole entire beach. The only place he could find to swim was in front of me. However, when I moved off, I didn't even look back to see if he was still there or not. But the man was talking to people and there was nobody around him. And I just felt it was strange. And the officer asked if that's the guy who had pursued me. And I said, I cannot blame this man because I did not get to see the person from through the street grape bushes. I couldn't make out the person's face or anything like that. But I could say that that was a guy that was swimming, stalking all around me further back down the beach. That's the exact same guy. And so I was left shaken. I didn't know how bruised I was until I got to the doctor's office and found that a chunk off one of my toes was missing. I had cuts all, lacerations under my feet, scrapes all my legs, and some sea urchin cobblers in my finger. Apart from that, traumatized and mentally shaken, I was okay. And I'm grateful to God for preserving my life because I did not know what that guy's intention was. And the thought of what women have to go through being violated, being pursued, being chased, being hunted down, being assaulted and raped, and your whole life snatched from you in the twinkling of an eye. It all has come rushing through my mind in these recent days since my experience. And so I want to issue a warning to young females and even older ones in Barbados. It's not as safe as we would like to imagine that it is. I've learned my lesson. I know I can no longer go to the beach alone. And I know after having heard I have to walk with a dog or carry somebody with me, and it's not safe. And so I'm encouraging young women, don't go out alone, places that you know you could put yourself in danger. It's already hard enough in broad daylight to be attacked, but don't do it in the day or at night. Don't don't do anything that you know could provoke somebody to come and harass you. You know, if you have to protect yourself, find a way to protect yourself. I am not saying how you do that, but find a way to protect yourself. I don't know if you'll do self-defense training or whatever, but this is just an appeal to young women out there. Make wise decisions when you're leaving home, when you're going to the beach. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Always let somebody know where you're going, what you're up to. Don't leave it up to chance that somebody will figure it out. Have somebody in your life that you can trust enough to say, I am heading to this event or activity. This is what I'm wearing or whatever. This summer in Barbados, please just take care of yourself. And that's it from me for now. Thank you for bearing with my very long message.